Hello, and welcome to Shaheen and Erica's Shitshow Extravaganza. My name is Shaheen, and I am once again asking for your financial support. Since I will be handling the next few episodes by myself, these episodes are probably going to be a little bit shorter. It's going to be a little bit more awkward because I'm not bouncing off of a natural conversation. It's just me talking. I'll try to mix it up. Maybe I'll add visuals, if not in this episode, the next episode. Whatever. We'll get creative. We'll see. So long as, it doesn't end up being too cringy. So I wanted to talk today about jobs, getting a job or working or jobs in the past. And I'm only mentioning this is because recently, and I mean like last week, I got hired in a new company. I'm probably gonna avoid mentioning company names just in case. We don't really have a lot of viewers. It's like 20 to 40 per episode. You never know. I just don't want to get in trouble. Um, just in case. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm just going to, before reaching and describing a little bit of my new job, I'm going to basically go through a history of my jobs or volunteers because I don't always get paid and sometimes it's internships. So here's basically the rules of what I would add to this list. If it's anything that I have worked on for a month or more, something that had a scheduled time for me to be there. Um, and that's, I guess, pretty much it. Like, you'll see what I mean once I go through these things. One thing I do want to get out of the way was around middle school. I got into magic. For people that don't know, it's not like the hocus pocus magic. It's like card tricks and really shitty coin tricks. But yeah, I got into magic because you want to pick up them girls, but it's very hard. Let me tell you, it's very hard to pick up girls at an all boys school. So magic definitely did not do me much good back in middle school. Also, I kind of grew out of it. It only took a year. Me and my best friend at the time both got into the whole act thing, and he was so bad at the selling point. Pretending like you're possessed or that you can read minds. He'd just reveal the card or whatever so nonchalantly that it just doesn't feel magical. So I'm just saying that to show you that I was good at something at some point. Uh, but yeah, that was a small gig. I think I just did like two parties. Did not get paid a lot. I was a kid, just trying to have fun. But yeah, that was, I guess, the first instance of. Oh man, I just remembered another one. This happened around the end of eighth grade, I think, and then bled into ninth grade. So I don't. I know it's illegal in the states and probably most Western countries. But pirated movies in Kuwait were very normal. And to be honest, pirated everything. I haven't seen, like, everything before the PS2. I have not seen a single legit disc. They were all in those shitty plastic bags with clearly poorly burned on discs. The only PS2 games that I had that were actual games without piracy were Kingdom Hearts 2 and one of the SmackDown versus Raw games. But yeah, so piracy was definitely a normal thing, and I used to get a lot of my movies. This is before streaming was heavy. This was before uh, streaming services were even available. So this was mostly like some people were smart enough to be able to find those websites where you can watch movies online. Others just download viruses. So I used to get my movies from this complex that we have here. That it's mostly like tech and video games and all that shit and nerdy stuff. So I used to get my movies there, and the guy considered me a loyal customer, so he would give me a discount. So I thought, hey, what if I started getting orders from campus. Like I'd ask students, is there any movie you want to watch, any TV series, whatever. I'd have them written down. I'd go over the weekend to this complex. I'd purchase in bulk, and the guy would just give me heavy discounts because he's not even paying any money for these movies. It's what is he? He's just paying for probably the disc themselves, and those were probably really cheap. But yeah, he'd give me like 50% off or give me like some free movies, and I would just resell them at full price to people on campus. And I'm not saying I was tricking people on campus. I think they knew full well that, the price I was giving them was normal. It's the average price, and the fact that they had to wait a week to get the movie is not even worth it. I think they were just playing along and being nice. Like one of the guys that used to order from me was the vice principal at our school, so everyone was just chill about it. But that was pretty successful, to be honest. Like I had, once I was in ninth grade, I had a guy that would also work for me, and he would get a cut of the revenue depending on how many people he would, or how many orders he would get. It's a little business. It's like drugs, except not really that illegal. Or if it is, then I don't know why police are also ordering movies from me. I'm joking. It's not the police, but you do see them purchasing pirated movies everywhere. But yeah, those were the shitty gigs, not real gigs. Those were just things that I dabbled with because honestly, there's not much to do in Kuwait circa 2006, 7, 8, 9. So, my first experience with a job was working for my father's company. I can mention this company because, I'm kind of part owner or whatever. So, Anubadabdoob, which translates to Bunny and Bear, is a children's barbershop. My father started it back in the 80s, and he gave me a job over the summer to work as a cashier. And it was brutal. And I don't mean brutal as in it was a hard job, it's just cashier work. The brutal part was it was about 10 hours a day, every day of the week except Friday. Pretty sure this goes against certain labor laws, but like I'm not gonna complain. It's 2 months. It's my first legit job, quote unquote, and it wasn't that bad. It was all right. I got to mingle a lot with the barbers and whatnot, and they were all trying to kiss ass so that they can get on my father's good side. It was all right. I had my friends work with me over the summer too, so that kind of gave it a better time. But it really stole the summer from me, I think. I barely had any fun with friends outside that work job. I just said work job. See, this is what happens when you do it by yourself. Also, that's what she said. But then, I didn't get paid enough, to be honest, but it's my father. He lets me live, period. He just lets me live. That's he's done enough for me, is what I'm trying to say. After that, I wanted to try something else. There's this program called Loyak, which gives teenagers and young adults jobs all over Kuwait, usually doing their summer programs. I don't know if they have outside of summer programs. And I signed up for it, and they gave me a job at a retail store that sells GPSs, buggies, and boats. I'm not gonna say the name of the store, but I mean it was all right. It was unlike my father's the cashier job. I had actual hours that don't make me want to jump out of a window, and it's 5 days a week as opposed to 6 days. And I had two other students or kids from the Loyak program working with me. Now, I haven't stayed in touch with them, so I doubt they'll ever find this. So I'm going to talk a little bit of shit, not too much. Because one guy, we end up being friends. He's cool. Like, he's not the best worker because he would skip out on a lot of days, and there was little to no punishment for people that did not follow their job, which sucks because, if we're getting paid. but he's cool. We shared our love for Dragon Ball games, just strictly the games, not the series. I don't know why he's like that. But the other guy, boy golly gee, that guy, I have never seen such a waste of a human being. And I'm not trying to be like super mean. This is just genuinely how it feels when you see him. He would skip most of the days. He would not do anything when we did work. He would just sit around and not throwing shade, but the guy just stank most of the time. He would take off his shoes, put his feet up on the table. It was pretty gross. Personality wise, he's not the worst. He was nice to me, and now I'm repaying his kindness with harsh words. But in terms of a hardworking person who signed up for this, like he's not drafted in the fucking army. He chose to work. He's not really showing any of that. And I remember when I was applying for Loyac, I was pretty pissed off when I went to the interview because they made me wait 2 hours. And you're probably thinking like, "Ooh, 2 hours, I ain't stop being a bitch." It's not that bothered me. My mother dropped me off, and she couldn't find parking. That means she was just driving aimlessly around for 2 hours because these guys told me to come at a certain time, and they didn't interview me until 2 hours after the planned time. So I was pretty pissed off because they did my mom dirty. And when I went in there, they kept asking me really dumb questions like, "What's your name?" and "What are you doing here?" Like, what? Okay, that's not the dumb part. To be honest, they asked me, when does our program begin? And I don't give a fuck when the program begins. Just tell me when they show up and I'll show up. They said, "When does the program end?" I'm like, it's whenever it ends. I'll just stop showing. Like, it's simple. I have nothing. I'm a middle school. No, this was back in high school. I'm a high school student during summer vacation. I literally have no other responsibilities. So it doesn't fucking matter. Stop being so anal about your damn little details. Like, if they said, "Hey, show up tomorrow," I would. Like, there's nothing stopping me. Anyway. So they really saw me as sort of a. They basically saw me how I saw the big stinky dude that worked with me, except for the stinky part. I'm pretty like I you know, I'm hygienic. Anyway, so later that summer, the guy that interviewed me took his, he said, "I thought you were going to be one of the more difficult students to work with, but you were actually the best." And I'm like, "I don't know why you're fucking surprised, bro. I just didn't know how to answer when I start and end because those are dumb questions." But yeah, and they also gave me a volunteer job to along with that, and it's to help Kuwait tradition and cultural values in certain locations. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention this place either, but we did a thing, and we got first place. We did a little pamphlet to help support tourism in this traditional location, and we got first place. I don't remember anything about that project. I just remember very awkward group work. But you know what? We came out first, and that means that we did something. Let's see. So then I went to college, and if you guys didn't know, I am no longer a college student. I was a sponsored student. And if you're sponsored, you're not allowed to work because they're supposed to be your only source of income. And I thought they were strict about that, but I know so many Kuwaitis that somehow worked. I think there's a loophole if you work on campus, like at the market or the gym or whatever. But I'm not going to say any names of people who found that loophole just in case. I don't want to throw people under the bus. Again, we get like what, 20 listeners? We're not going to light up a fucking revolution here. Oh boy, I hope I don't regret those words. So I'm not allowed to work, and I didn't. However, in my last semester, for my capstone project, I was supposed to intern somewhere. And then from my internship, link it to my studies by writing a fucking, 900-page essay. It's like 9-page essay or something. So I applied to many places, many locations, and I got, again, I don't know if I'm allowed to mention these. If you know me, which you probably do, then you know what I'm talking about. But I did work at a place that deals with, I can say that deals with refugees and asylees. But I'm not saying the name of the company. And they didn't know that I was going to work for just a month because I didn't tell them. It was like a month and a half ish. So they were pretty pissed off. Well, not pissed off. They were unpleasantly surprised that I wasn't going to stay long because they don't want to invest that much time in me. And they said, it takes about 3 months for people to get used to this fucking job. And I said, okay, my bad. I'm just trying to fucking graduate, but sure, if you want to fucking shame me. But because I didn't have a lot of time, because I'm not going to discuss the details of how long it took me to finally get accepted to a place, which, by the way, they had to do a background search, and somehow my fucking, the government, the cultural office of Kuwait knew, and they messaged me and they said, hello, someone's doing a background search on you. Are you cheating on us? Are you getting a fucking job? I'm like, whoa, it's just a side thing. It's not even like a full-on relationship. You need to calm the fuck down. And I told him, like, I need to graduate. You want me to graduate? Just let me do this. So then I did the job, and within a week and a half, I already got the full, like, I knew what I was doing. New interns, new trainees were asking me for help and to train them. Because unlike the regular interns, they would be there, or interns/volunteers, they would just be there for maybe 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week. I was there every day, 5 hours, because I had to make up for lost time. So I picked up things pretty quickly. And it was a fun time. I genuinely enjoyed the job. And honestly, if I continued, they would probably have given me a legit paid position to, a higher position. But I couldn't because I had to graduate and move back to Kuwait. They did say after exams, come back and work a little bit and also give us back your name tag. And I'm like, you guys didn't pay me at all. The least you could give me is the name tag. I didn't tell them that, and I also didn't visit them afterwards. I just took the name tag. I needed one thing at least. Also, that name tag used to get me out of tardiness. So if I showed up late to class, they would see the name tag, and they just assumed that I was late from work. But I wasn't. It's because I'm a lazy fuck, and I'm always procrastinating. So yeah, I also abused this position that was supposed to help the less fortunate. And yes, it's true. I am a horrible person. Anyway, post-graduation, moved back to Kuwait. Obviously, getting a job was going to be my priority. I say my priority, but it's literally everyone else's fucking priority. Everyone gives a fuck if I get a job, and I get it if it's my parents, because they want me, I guess I get it if everyone does, because they want me to be steady and they want me to have a balanced life and not depend on other people, which is great. I understand. But I also moved back from a different country with different system for 5 years. Like, give me my fucking break a little bit. Give me a breather. I didn't take a year off from college. Get fucked. I took summer classes too. I think I only did just one summer that I didn't take summer classes. So let me breathe a bit. Let me chill. But I did get an internship at a marketing agency. Again, not mentioning names. And I don't know. I did pick up a few things. I did learn. But it was I never felt so trapped in terms of creativity. And that's weird saying in terms of a marketing agency. Because you'd think that that's where you get to express everything. But no. A lot of the ideas they reject, a lot of the things they're not used to. It feels like when an older person is trying to stay young and hip, that's what that company felt like. It's like, oh, look at us, we're quirky. They had like a hoop in the office. They had a baby foot table in the office. So I'm like, okay, so you're hip and shit. But then you tell them these things that are supposed to be relevant or these trends, and they're still stuck on their really lame jokes of the past. And that's the only thing that matters to me is, can you make an entertaining, can you create something entertaining or impactful? And I feel like they're too safe. They follow the same formula. Again, I really hope, you know what? No, fuck them. I'm not going to mention their name, but fuck them. I'm bold, but I'm not stupid. So that place I stayed for about 2 months. Wasn't bad. It's just they. So the work job was from work job again. Is that? I'm gonna look that up. It's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's 8 hours as per usual jobs, and they would only give me 4 hours worth of work because I would be finished early and just not do anything. I'd beg them for work. They don't have anything, and I'd rather not waste my time in downtown with shitty parking. It's weird because Kuwait downtown is upwards, but anyway, downtown I prefer to just stay home and do, whatever I need to do at home. So I started showing up 4 hours late, which is bad, but I don't get paid either. So, and they still liked me. Like they wouldn't reprimand me for coming late because they know I'd get my shit done faster than most of them. It's because most of the time they just go out and smoke or drink coffee and they're not focusing on their tasks, just throwing shade at everyone. Yeah, I didn't think people were focused and driven. And I did see a few people that were driven. And I feel like those guys felt as well. They felt like they were suffocating under this weird concept that they were going for. And that person left too. And this was the only person where I was like, okay, this place is kind of legit if they have a guy like this. But anyway, after I left that, I went to the States to visit friends. And then when I came back, I didn't really look for a job until my friend asked me to accompany him in his new job. And it's still kind of a rough structure where they're from. So I was allowed to, I guess, crash the office and just help out. The issue is, this place was related to tech. I think I am the jack of all trades, but a master of none. But beyond that, I'm also the jack of not all the trades, and a master of like one maybe, if you're talking about professional wrestling. My point is, I know so little about a lot of things, but tech is not my forte. I don't fuck with tech. I don't give a fuck. It's not something that I care about or study or have dedicated any time or interest to. So me being called into this office and him, my friend, and his, I want to say colleagues, but yeah, they're colleagues, I guess, talking to me like I'm at their level in terms of tech interest is really struggling. I genuinely felt stupid sitting amongst them. Like, this is not my thing. But I had to be there because my friend needed me. He's going crazy because of the lack of organization in that company. So after a while, I just stopped going because I don't even think the boss liked me. Whenever he'd see me in the office, I feel like he gives me this look like, what the fuck are you doing here? I never employed you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. This all happens in our head. So it wasn't fun. Again, I had a bad time, but for a friend, I'd be there, bro. I'd be there. And then I went through a brief hiatus once again until I just decided, for the meantime, until I find the right time, the right place, and the right job, I would work for my father. My father's company, again, the barbershop. I'm not talking like cashier job. I'm talking like management marketing job. So I get this position. Now, I don't want to mention working with family, but if people have done that in the past, you know the feeling of working with family. Sometimes it gets rough because you don't look eye to eye, but you can't really just go home and relax and talk it out with your family because you can't run away from it. It follows you home. And also, there's a lack of organization and there's no real time frame for the job. So if I were to, like, my father would walk in to my room at 8 p.m. and he was like, why didn't you respond to these messages? I'm like, I'm off the clock, bro. And he's like, no, there's no blah, 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 blah. And I don't like that. I don't like my work following me home. That's one thing. I think that's why I hated school, because there's homework and studying. I don't want that. I want to leave everything at school or at work. I can go there and I can give it my 100%. But then when I'm home, it's my home. It's where I relax. It's where I make shitty podcasts. I don't want to feel like I have to keep working overtime. Is that bitching? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that there's no distinction between work and rest or home or whatever. And I always feel like I'm not putting enough effort. I'm not reaching my father's expectations because although this company is the company that is responsible for me living a life of, a roof over my head and clothes on my back, it's not something that I really want to get into as my first endeavor in after college, like my full time work. Is this not something I feel like I should experiment, see new things, live a little before going through basically my fucking birthright of a position in a company. So that didn't work, and we both acknowledged it. I think we came out of it better, my father and I. I still want to support. I genuinely want to help and try to build this company. I love this company too. It's something that I was raised in. My picture was in one of the stores for the longest time. I don't know why they took it down. I might go talk to them later, but whatever. So after that, another brief hiatus, I guess, if you want to call it, until I was basically forced by, not forced, yeah, encouraged. Oh, that's nicer. Encouraged by my father and my brother-in-law to start applying everywhere. And I'll be honest, the only reason why I want to get a job, the primary reason to get a job is to just get everyone to shut up and not talk. I just breathed on the mic. Is just shut up and stop mentioning get a job, or every time we have a family gathering. So, Shaheen, have you sent your CV? Shaheen, have you spoken to this person that I told you to talk to that you didn't want to talk to, but I'm forcing you to talk to? Like, just get off my back. If me applying for jobs will get you off my back, let's do it. Okay, sure, whatever. So I send my CV to a couple of companies. I go through a few interviews, and one company, a very prestigious, very nice company, finally, and this is the company that I'm working for currently. I don't know if I should mention names, but I got the job, and I work as a tenant relation. I work in the tenant relation department. There we go. And it's been a week actually. Yeah, 6 days, 7 days. What day is it today? Whatever. It's been a week. Let's say it's been a week. Here's my review of my first week. It's fun. It's a fun job. I get to walk around a lot, which is healthy, as opposed to sitting at a desk and slowly deforming my spine. I get to socialize with a lot of people, my age and older. Most of the people in my department are my age. And we're connected in the past. Like, there's fucking history, and it's wild. And it's been a fun job. I get to get out of, do my socializing, which I was really good at back in college and high school. And I get to go out there and try new things. And I get to wear a suit-ish. And it's fun. I've enjoyed it. So far, it's been looking good. But let me tell you the sign of royalty, okay? Now, I've never had a job. That's multiple jobs right there. Everything I've worked at was either a volunteership, internship, summer job with a deadline, but never a full-on, aside from my father's company, but that's more relaxed because it's my father's company. I want to feel like I'm, doing something that's not through a connection or whatever. So this is my first real job, and because of that, I'm not familiar with the benefits of a job. And I know each job differs in benefits and to what degree. So even volunteering in the marketing agency, which was another decently high standard job, I barely got anything. When I got there, I had a desk and that's it. I had nothing else. I had to steal the stationery. I had to steal a little notepad. I had to bring my laptop from home. I had to, I remember the first day there was a guy, like a little butler guy in the office that brought me water, but then after that, it was like, go fuck off, bring your own water, which is fine. I'm not expecting to be spoiled here, but like don't fucking trick me and treat me well on the first day and then expect me to do. I don't know. It felt misleading as an opening, basically. So I start this job, and already on my first day, I feel like I'm royalty, and it's not even that big of a thing. It's the bare necessities of a job, of a legit like company job. I had a computer, wild. I had a landline phone thing next to me with my own extension. Double wild. Who the fuck am I? Fucking Donald Trump? Why are you treating me like a president? You giving me a fucking phone? Bro. They asked me, how would you like your coffee? I'm like, I don't even drink coffee, but the way you're asking me sounds like I should be drinking coffee. I didn't. I asked for a cup of water, but I'll get to that in a sec. I'll fucking get to that in a sec. So there's a guy that brings people beverages and shit, right? Like a butler for the word butler, they call him a T-boy, which sounds demeaning. Anyway, so he brought me a cup of water. I had my own little trash can. Again, wild. I didn't expect that. That was like the biggest highlight. I used to in the other companies I used to just pocket my trash until I can find a trash can. But here I am, my own personal trash can. Doesn't have my name on it, but that could be worked on later. But then people are just gonna say, "Oh, look at Shaheen," and just point at the trash can. I don't want that to happen. So the next day, my second day at work, I arrive at work, and this is where I felt like, okay, I am definitely royalty. I'm treated as royalty here because I'm gonna call him the butler, but the T-boy, quote unquote, remembers my choice of beverage, water, a nice fresh cup of water, and he would just leave it on my desk early in the morning. That means I arrive and I have water on my desk. It's such a simple human right, access to water. And I've never felt it never tasted sweeter. It was so good, especially because in previous jobs, if I forget my water bottle or whatever, sometimes water is unavailable or I don't want to, go back and forth to the kitchen or what. Okay, that part sounded a little bit bitchy. But sometimes, if it's your first day, you don't even know if you're allowed to go into the kitchen. I don't fucking know. I'm not an experienced employee. So, seeing that water after driving to work, singing my heart out in the car as one does, and then my throat gets drier than the Sahara. The first thing you see is a nice cup of water. That's a fucking way to start your day, bro. Man, fuck. You notice that I haven't mentioned any of the job qualities though, like what I do or the actual benefits like healthcare or whatever. I'm just mentioning the fact that I have a fucking trash can and I get a cup of water every morning. That just shows how simple of a human being I have become after jumping from one internship to another volunteership and finally landing an actual job. Am I grateful for my father and my brother-in-law chewing my ass off trying to get me to get a job? Yeah, more or less I am. And you know what? The salary, I didn't even mention the salary because I'm not, but it's nice to have salary, I think. I think that's a decent income that I will filter into my future project, which is nice again. Another good thing. But, like in terms of work, things are looking up for me, which is nice. I didn't think I would ever get to this point after graduating from the US and feeling like I don't really belong here or there or anywhere. I'm not saying this company made me feel like I belong. I'm just saying they haven't rejected me yet, and that's cool. I'm slowly getting my groove. Slowly getting the confidence to move around more, get acclimated to this adulthood, this post college life, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm grateful for that. Not a lot of people can say shit like this, so I am grateful for my father and my brother-in-law, and now I just wish that everyone would shut up about me getting married, because I'm not even close to getting married, and that everyone told me, if you come back from the States, we're not gonna badger you with the usual, but it never ends. Shaheen, when are you going to get a job? Shaheen, when are you going to get married? Shaheen, when are you going to have kids? Shaheen, when are you going to fucking die? I don't fucking know. Let me live first, and then we'll see. But yeah, I think I've ranted long enough for a person who's just talking to himself. I look like a crazy person. Probably talked really quick, too. Whatever. I want to make this a decently short episode, and now I'm rambling on. I hope you enjoyed this Shaheen exclusive episode. And you didn't get tired of my ums. But thank you for listening through. I would ask you to mention your job experiences in the comments below, but I don't even know if that's legal. I don't know what's legal anymore. Excuse me as I wet my throat for the Sorry, I just got a stroke. Give me a sec. For the high pitch sound is what I'm trying to say. I'll take it. You know what? I'll take it. Thank you, and I will see you guys next week. I really hope this mic was on the entire time. Fuck. Bye.